Oh my gosh, it's there. Hi, my name's Mark. Today, I'm going to read from a journal, and hopefully I laugh. A wake is not always as enjoyable as described. More often than not, you're there for loved ones to comfort them on an untimely death. During an untimely death. The worst case being awake for a child. You never have the time to appreciate the decor. Awake for a child is full of tears and sorrow, walking from family member to family member, embracing them and being strong, even though the wake is for a boy your age. A wake giving you an opportunity to reflect on life and death. As it's a rare occasion, both are so close. A wake is something to dread, for obvious reasons, but is also an experience, and one not to be taken for granted. Life. I didn't laugh, and so now I go on to a different one. This one doesn't have a title, and it's written like this. The fog sat heavy today, or so it seemed. It's difficult to remember when the fog only comes ever so often. Once the rain ceased, the fog came. It no longer nourished the ground. It no longer relieved the heat. It no longer inspired. It brought dread. It reminded me of the gravity of the situation, of the blistering of the sulfur air. That seems so normal until it's not. The fog was thick and stifling. It smelled of metal that conjured memories of blood. It was dark, letting no light pass, its mass, hiding its prisoners within its smoky glass. And hot. And hot should have had a way longer pause. I laughed. Hiding its prisoners within its smoky glass. It felt like a sarcophagus. No, and hot. It felt like a sarcophagus of damp, sandpapered tongues. The fog began around the time the grass was no longer green, an eternal tan, roasted, rooted in chalk. Around the time things seemed most bleak, when it felt like it couldn't get worse. And then it did, and did, and did, until a drop, searing hot, like boiling acid. But with that acid came hope. A screenplay for a show I would like to write. It's called Foul Play, and it's between Gatsby Goose, his girlfriend Giselle, maybe a penguin, and maybe an eagle, and maybe a swan, a goose, a swan, a penguin, an eagle, maybe an osprey. One more. A duck. A mallard duck.